Greetings. I'm coming to you live from the back room of World Domination headquarters in Denver, Colorado. And I'm going to go post our link over on our website and put it up on Twitter. The website is jollyrogerukulele.com, and this is where you want to be. What we're doing is meeting here Tuesdays and Thursdays to go over books 1 and 2. And then on Fridays, we're also meeting for the more advanced music, the new music, harder arrangements, all that good stuff. JollyRogerUkulele.com will have on the front page our list of weekly stuff we're doing. Plus, oops, I forgot to hit bolds. Let me go hit bold. In addition to what we're doing just in terms of playing, tons of educational stuff on there, tons of stuff about how to teach ukulele and so on. And so if you are a student or a teacher, this is a website that's designed for you. All of the foundational stuff is free on the website. We do have a member section which is dedicated to the new, fancy, more important new and fancy music. I don't know if it's more important, and then for orchestra stuff. So a lot of that has copyright issues, and so I keep it behind the paywall, just to protect everybody from getting in trouble. Let me double check that the link is working properly. We'll start here in about 1 minute. If you're watching the review, you are going to be fine. Today we're going to review Frère Jacques. We're going to play a little bit out of the strumming book, and then we are going to tackle bar chords. So the first 3 lessons are, first one is plucking individual notes. The second lesson is chords, and the third lesson is bar chords. All of those things are going to become a critical issue for you going forward, and so I want to just make sure to get those things out early. I will let you know that I'm getting the scary sign that I don't have enough Wi-Fi here, which happens over when I'm over here at World Headquarters, which means the video may be a little jumpy, but what I have found, generally speaking, is the sound continues straight through, and that's why you're here for that anyway. Who cares what I look like? So let me stick this up on Twitter real quick and we'll get started. So grab your Frère Jacques sheet music first, because that's that's the important stuff we got to get into your noggin right from the start, and so hopefully that's going to be going pretty well for you at this point. JollyRogerUkulele.com, and then we add the little, I've got the robot. I don't know if it's a robot. It's a cassette tape that's wearing headphones. Let's see, Jolly. Where's Jolly? Jolly. There I am. All right. Open and tweet. All right, so we have tweeted. You are logged in. When you come in each week, each session, I love it if you use the chat bar. That way, I know that I'm coming through to somebody, and then I look okay. Well, I don't look okay. I know that. I look in the mirror too. But that the sound is coming good. The only thing I can't check on YouTube, generally speaking, is this quality of the sound. I've gotten where I've been able to troubleshoot it pretty well, so we usually don't have any problem. But EFGH. There I am. Usually we're fine. All right, you look and sound fine in Maui. I'm making it all the way to Maui. Linda lives in Maui, so whatever, Linda. Yeah, she's winning, right? Wanted to show you before, as we're starting. We play in ukulele and in baritone ukulele, so I don't want to linger too long on sort of the basic stuff here. But on the ukulele, on JollyRogerUkulele.com, the website, under the baritone and ukulele and baritone tab, the first 8 or so lessons are specific about, hey, what should I think about in terms of how to hold the ukulele, how to do all this stuff. And so as a quick reminder, you need to, with the style of music that we're going to be playing, you're going to need to have I gotta open up my other little thing here. You're going to need to have a button here on the end, and this is very straightforward. Here's the one on the baritone without the strap on it. Let me see if I can get this where you can look at it. You just drill a small pilot hole in there, you stick your button on the end, and that's it, and then you're done, right? And yeah, I know a lot of you buy your first ukulele, and then the first thing I tell you to do is take a drill to it. It strikes you as a little bit nerve-wracking, but you got to have one of these so that you can hook on one of these. This hooks on this way, right? And then it comes around, and then on this end we just use basically a shoestring and tie it on up here. Some ukuleles have the little knob right on here, somewhere down here. It's fine, except for it's great on guitar. On ukulele it feels like it's strangling you, so I like to have it up here, but you put it on wherever it makes you feel good, and then that goes around there, and now I can play without worrying that the ukulele is going to go flying off. So there we go. That's it. That's the story on straps. You should get one. Let's revisit really quickly. Your posture should be, this should be 45-50 degree angle, somewhere in there, and your thumb is hanging out behind this neck. I never see your thumb, right? I don't even know you own a thumb. You see on YouTube all over the place people playing with this and actually bringing it over the top. Pure insanity. You never need to have your thumb showing. So that's a rule, okay? And then your thumb, wherever your middle finger is, that's where your thumb is, okay? So you're hanging out wherever it ends up. And of course, today we're going to talk bar chords. Lynn is in. I have been relegated to the closet, basically. Yes, I am in the back room of World Headquarters because my wife is actually having to have a meeting in my regular studio, and she needed the good Wi-Fi. So she's got the good Wi-Fi down there. I got the iffy Wi-Fi. And so, yeah, this is the back room. This is where the workshop, actually, where all the strings get changed and buttons get put on, and cases are stored, and loaner ukulele boxes and boxes and boxes of those. Those are all here. Yeah. Hey, Sandy, in from heavy snow up in Michigan. Diane is here. Good afternoon. Trying to improve baritone skills. See, right? Diane's an excellent musician. She just wanted to get a little better on baritone. That's great. Jill, welcome in from Golden. So glad to have you today. All right, Frère Jacques, you've got your sheet music. Remember, I want you to memorize 0240-0240. 457-457 797-540 797-540. First string, second string, first string. I want you to have it memorized, because at some point somebody's going to come by and be like, hey, would you teach me how to play ukulele? And you're like, yes, I will. All right, here we go. Remember your thumb, just bum. Okay, and you can look at your sheet music if you have to. I'll tell you what the notes are. 1, 2, ready, play. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. Now the nice part about having it memorized is that you're much more likely to sound like you know what you're doing, right? So take some time to memorize those notes. I don't ask you to memorize much, right? But that's one of those that I do, okay? Next, let's do it on baritone. Diane says, hey, I'm trying to get better on baritone. Now, if you don't have a baritone, what do? Well, you're going to play the chord, okay? And for you guys, when we play Frère Jacques on a ukulele, we're playing it in the key of A, okay? But in baritone, when we're playing that shape, same shape as on yours, but it's coming out of the instrument as an E. So to make an E chord on ukulele, you take your index finger, run it up and down in the 4th fret, okay? And you squeeze kind of hard, okay? Should get this sound. Okay, beautiful. What you'll it'll be different on yours, because this is coming out as, who knows what this is coming out as, but it's not an A, okay? But just try to get that down as straight as you can, and in the beginning it's going to probably sound like this, okay? And that's fine. Okay, eventually comes in, and then take your pinky and put it on number 7. That's the one with the dot. Okay, put it on 7. Okay, and it's coming out of my instrument different than your ukulele, but that's the chord you want, E chord. Okay, bar chord on 4, pinky on 7. We're going to work on bar chords today, okay? All right. Hey, Shelly, in from Massachusetts. Good to see you. Okay? All right, so that's your ukulele chord. Baritone players, we're going to play the notes, okay? From the top, 1, 2, ready, play. 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. That's it. Okay, what you've learned is to read from tablature now, and that's a super important skill that we're going to be learning. We're going to spend the rest of your days reading tablature, and we will discuss the merits and demerits of tablature versus standard notation. What you should know is tablature is the superior notation for our instrument. There is standard notation out there. Some of you have taken music lessons, and you're like, oh no, the most important thing are those notes on a red standard notation. No, you're wrong, and I can prove it. I have 150 years of loop music to prove to you that you're going to have a hard time beating that. And in fact, when I'm playing guitar, there's all these notes. It's just almost impossible to read that sheet music. And you stick it on tablature and like, oh, is that what I'm supposed to do? Okay. Much faster and easier, and you get the same result. All right, so. You're reading tablature. Don't think Frère Jacques is nothing. It is the center stone. It is the corner. It is the thing you're going to tie all of your other boats to, right? It is the central pier, and so we will be moving forward with it. Now I'm going to stay on baritone, okay? And if you're on ukulele, that's fine. I want to switch over now to the strumming page, okay, which is what we talked about last week. Okay, so grab your ukulele strummers in the key of A, all right? And so let's talk about your shapes. So if you're on ukulele, here's your A chord, looks like that, okay? Index on the 3rd string, 1st fret, and then your middle finger's on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Okay, that's your A, okay? We're not going to do the F sharp minor today because we don't, it's in there. It's not that much harder to do it, by the way. You just put your ring finger right there, okay? But we're not going to use that one today because we're only going to do a 3-chord song. The other chord you need is a D chord, okay? Grab all 3 of these, cram them into the 2nd fret. Usually this is how you know if you need to get a bigger ukulele. If you are playing on a soprano or a concert-size ukulele and your fingers can't do that, right? You probably need a tenor, okay? And if you have real thick fingers, right? A lot of people do. You probably need to become a baritone player, okay? So there's more. This is a baritone, so I have tons of room on here, right, to get those in there. Okay, that's your D chord, and then of course your E7, index finger on the top string, middle finger here, ring finger here, okay, on the bottom. So that's your E7. Okay, baritone players, you have a different setup. This is your A chord. Okay, same as their D chord. Then your D chord, it looks like a ukulele G chord. Okay, and then your E7 is your easy one. That's just right there. Okay, so grab whichever instrument you have. I'm going to play on baritone, but it'll come out because I'm using a different chord shape. So don't pay any attention to my left hand whatsoever. You're going to pay attention to the music. I want to go to page 2 of your strumming book. Okay, if you printed it out correctly, it's a little booklet. If you didn't print it out correctly, every other page is upside down. Okay, it doesn't matter. Just go find page 2. Okay, we're going to do Lime and a Coconut. Okay, now I do Lime and a Coconut because the version on here is way different than the one that you may have heard, and it's unlikely that you've heard it in the last 30 years anyway. So I'm going to put my E7 on. Ukulele players, you put your E7 on. Okay, and then I'm going to count in 3, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. My brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. My sister had another one and spent it on a lime. You put the lime in the coconut, spread them both together. Put the lime in the coconut, drink it all up. You put the lime in the coconut, and then you'll perk on up. I'm going to stop here. You notice what I'm doing with my right hand is just grabbing all 4 strings, pluck, 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 pluck. pluck. So my thumb is going down, my index finger's coming up, middle finger's coming up, and ring finger's coming up. And I'm using all 4 strings. 1, 2, okay. Call that claw plucking, okay. There's a thing called claw hammer, which banjo players do. That's not this, okay. Now, when don't get your fingers in that place. The next thing I want to do with this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Just okay. And if that's too fast, go slower. Okay, won't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Called the doctor, woke him up, and here is what I said. I said, doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, doctor, to relieve this bellyache. I said, doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? You put the lime in the coconut, drink 'em both together. Put the lime in the coconut, then you feel much better. Put the lime in the coconut, and it says slow down. Call me in the morning. And then in this little booklet, when you see two asterisks, that means you're going to do a tremolo. Okay, here's how you do a tremolo. Take your index finger, point your fingernail toward the ground. Okay, don't have it pointing up here. Point it toward the ground. Okay. Down, 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 down. But when you go down with your fingernail and then up with the pad of your finger. Okay, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, and then you'll notice automatically my other fingers are starting to spread out. Okay, so don't try to do this. Right, with your hand closed up in a fist, it'll slow you down. Okay, you bring your other fingers out and then do your index finger like that. That way you've got some counterbalance weight in your hand, and then you can go pretty fast. And call me in the morning. That's how we do that, right? So, and then what I did at the end there was I just kind of raised my hand up and hit all of my fingers going down. Right? The cool part about teaching that to little boys is they'll go whack, and then they will not hit their knuckles on the side of their neck, and and then they learn, right? That's how we educate young boys, is to make them suffer. And so we learned plucking, how to play a chord plucking, and we learned how to play a chord arpeggio style. Okay, I have no doubt, over time, I have no doubt you ended up here, and you've already done this strum and probably the thumb strum, right? So those strums we don't need to spend a ton of time on because you probably are already doing them. With strumming, the sooner you get over it, the better off you're going to be. Okay, strumming is super fun for about 6 months, and then after that, you're going to probably get bored with it. And so I want you to be able to have some other choices that are a little more sophisticated. I want to go to page. Let's go to page 14. Go to 14 and let's look at Soft Kitty. Some of you are familiar with this show, Big Bang Theory, and some of you are not. Doesn't matter. But if you are, you're like, sweet, I want to play that song. Okay. All right. Let's do Soft Kitty on page 14. 2 chords. You're going to go from A to E7 and back. Okay. And if you're on ukulele, that's going to look like A chord, E7, A chord. Okay, so it's feels like a lot, but use some strategy here. You're in A. To get to E7, this finger goes up, this finger goes down. Add your ring finger. That's A to E7. To get back, you're on E7. Lose this finger goes up, that finger comes down. You're all set. So I'll do it on baritone first, and then I'll do it on ukulele. But you'll play along with me. Okay, do the best you can. 1, 2, ready. Play. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr again. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Okay. What I tell people all the time when they're doing chords is forget about what chord you're on. Look to see what the next chord is coming. When is the change going to happen? You want to be on the new chord in plenty of time to be ready on beat 1 of that next chord, whatever it happens to be. And so if you're on A, right, and you see the E7 coming, you want to abandon your A chord in plenty of time to have E7 on to be ready to hit it when it's time. Okay? On ukulele, same song. 1, 2, ready, play. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Okay, isn't that fun? All right, so there's your on ukulele. And then last song I want to do, page 12. Okay, page 12. Baritone players, you play your chords. Ukulele players, you play your chords. Okay, on top of spaghetti. This is a song of hope. Okay, and you'll see why. Okay, reaches the wrong conclusion in the moral universe, but it is. You'll see how sad it starts off. It just gets positively dreary until hope returns. Okay, I will do the singing. By the way, I'm aware that I'm a terrible singer. Okay, I have documented evidence from the university that I'm a terrible singer. Here we go. I'm going to pluck the whole way through. Okay, but try it. You can try it sometimes this way. Try it sometimes with some plucking in there. Sometimes maybe you use your thumb. Sometimes use your index finger. Doesn't matter. Okay. 1, 2. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor. And then my poor meatball rolled right out the door. It rolled down the gutter and under a bush. And now my poor meatball is nothing but mush. The rains came and soaked it as wet as can be. And early next summer it grew to a tree. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss. It grew lovely meatballs, all covered in sauce. Isn't that hopeful? If you eat spaghetti, all covered in cheese, hang on to your meatball and don't ever sneeze. Okay, so my singing is terrible, but your singing is beautiful, and your chord changes hopefully are happening about the same time as mine. Because that's our goal. This whole little book, that's there, you've got 34 songs, most of every song you've probably heard of, and you can go through and just take them nice and slow and work on your chord changes. Your goal is to change chords without having any gaps, right? So that you don't have to stop, change the chord, jump back in. When you play with me, that's the ideal, right? Because then you have to keep going, because I'm going to keep going, and whether you're struggling with your chords or not, I'm going to keep going. And so that's what ultimately I think is the purpose of this little book, is get your A chord, get your D chord, and get your E7 chord pretty solid. But more importantly, get it where you can keep going no matter what, and that you abandon the previous chord, whatever it happens to be, in plenty of time to have your next chord on. That's one of the things that when you're newer, super hard to do, right? Because you're so busy, you're so happy, you finally got your A chord on, you're riding it out for a while, and then you're like, oh shoot, I'm supposed to be on a D chord now, and by the time you get it on, we're already moving on to the next chord. So abandon the previous chord in plenty of time. Rebecca, who I can guarantee you has some singing background, says, how do you know the first note of the song? How do you know where to start on a song? That's the challenge with this type of music, is you don't know. So as a singer, you're like, how do I find out my first note? Well, you have to fish around and find it. Now, if I'm on top of spaghetti, on, and I'm holding the chord, on, probably not, right? How about a C note? On top of spaghetti, probably a C, right? Or a C sharp, I should say. C. On top of spaghetti. You fish around with it. That's the nice part about ukulele. Probably hold the chord and try your 4 strings first and see if any of those match your voice. In real sheet music and all of the other sheet music that I give to you, it'll tell you what the first note is. But when you go play folk music style, they don't tell you, and normally they don't even tell you the meter either. They just say, here's the lyrics, here's where the chord changes are, good luck, right? And so it is actually rather challenging to figure out, oh shoot, where do I get my voice to begin? And you'll see on the other pieces of sheet music is very clear. But on this style of music, which with ukulele, honestly, this is for 95, 97 probably percent of ukulele players, this is the only thing they ever do. So they never get all those musical questions. And Rebecca's question is quite sophisticated. How do I know my starting note? Well, I don't know. Just go, I don't know, somewhere in there, right? That's honestly how folk music jams work. Is you go there, they hand you the lyrics, they show you where the chord changes are, and then it's really on you to figure out the rest. And it's a little loosey goosey, right? And so you get it close to get started. And one of the most helpful things that I had a singing teacher tell me was, hey, find that first note. In this case, probably a C sharp. On top of spaghetti, right? And then trying to match your voice. But if you don't have that, you just don't have it. And so I would say, generally speaking, strum the chord a couple times, on top of, on, and then go with that as your first note, right? On top of spaghetti, all covered with trees, probably, right? And because I am not in any way qualified to discuss singing strategies, I will tell you that I understand the question, Rebecca, and the unfortunate answer is, if you're looking at sheet music like this, you don't know. You have to figure it out. You have to guess, and then hope you were right. Okay, but on all of the other sheet music, I give you very, very little of this, because honestly, this is mostly it's a cul-de-sac in the great highway of music, is playing with chords and lyrics and strumming. Ukulele, it feels like it's the way to play it, but it's not. There's so much more to be had. Now, very quickly, I need to go over today's actual lesson, which is bar chords. Okay, I want you to take this finger, and it doesn't matter if you're on baritone or ukulele. Baritones, I want you to start on 5. Okay, ukulele players, I want you to start on 0. Okay, so take this finger and play thumb, index, middle, ring on each string. Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring. And on your paper it says PIMA, which is the Spanish words. Pulgar, indice, medicchio, annular, I think is how they pronounce them. Probably not. P-I-M-A, thumb, index, middle, ring. Now, hard part. Move up to 1. If you're on baritone, move up to 6. Okay, you're sweet, Vic. Thank you. Move up to, if you're on ukulele, put a 1 on. If you're on 6, move up, or if you're on baritone, move to 6. Okay, here we go. Same thing. Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring. Let's move to 2. Okay, baritone up to 7. Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring. Move up 1 more. Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring. Okay, so on Thursday, your goal is to do this. And so on. I'm on a really crummy ukulele, so it has a way bent neck, and so a lot of these weird sounds are coming out of it. But that's the idea, right? I got this ukulele out so I can show you how to do a button. That's the only reason I'm playing this one. That's the function of this ukulele. Say, doesn't this look nice? Looks like a good ukulele. It's not. It's a very bad ukulele. Now, you're probably going to hear this. And that's okay, right? Let that be that for now, because eventually... you're going to get better at it, but we got to get you started somewhere, and that's thumb, index, middle, ring. That's the important part, P-I-M-A, and then getting whatever sound you can out of this hand. And in the beginning, you got to squeeze like heck. You got to really clamp down on it, and that's it'll get better because you're going to build up this muscle right here. That's the muscle we're working on. All right, guys, I'm going to cut the stream here, and your homework this week, obviously, make sure you have Frère Jacques memorized. Start, continue to play through the little booklet, and then build your bars. Okay, and then on Thursday, then we will dive in. We'll do the official all the way down bar on the bar. Make a better bar sheet. We'll do a couple more strumming things out of the booklet, and then we're going to talk about major scales. So we're going to start moving from Frère Jacques, which is all on 1 string, into a major scale, which is using 3 of the 4 strings. Okay, so I'll see you Thursday, and obviously if you're all logged in, I'm going to unplug this stream and start a new stream for book 2. And in book 2 today, we're going to cover, we're going to play Kumbaya, and then we're going to read through Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is another one of the songs out of the spiritual section of our program. So thank you all for being here. Send me emails if you have questions, and I will talk to all of you all on Thursday, or Ian and I will talk to you in the next class. Have a great afternoon. Peace.